Okay? So, trinomials are going to be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are the coefficients. Okay, so they're the numbers in front of the x's. Coefficients. Factoring is the opposite of FOIL. We also would call that the inverse operation. Or we'd also call it multiplying binomials. So, again, we're going to start with ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And your answer, when you factor it, will always look like this. 2 binomials, like that, say equal to 0. So I'm going to put over here. Your answer will look like this. I'm also going to do some color coding. So there's B, there's C. All of our examples will be where A is 1. So they're just plain old x squareds. So first example, x squared plus 3x minus 28. Nope, thank you. Glad you're back. Okay. And then over on the side here, we're going to do a big X. Okay. So up here is the multiply number, and down here is the add number, or combine. So 3 is your combination, negative 28 is your multiply. And you put them there. So all you're going to do, well, let's first put our parentheses, because we know it's going to be like this. We also know that in order to get x squared here, then these first two terms will have to be x and x. That's the only way you can get x squared, by multiplying two things. So to solve this, we need to figure out what two numbers will multiply to give us negative 28, but when you combine them together, you get a positive 3. You may already know it, but you just think to yourself, well, how many different ways are there to get 28? You could do 1 times 28, right? You can do 2 times 14. What's another number that goes into 28? 7 and 4, right? So we know it's going to be a combination of 7 and 4, because that can give us a difference of 3. So if this is negative, one of these has to be negative. I want the bigger one to be positive, so it's going to have to be negative 4. Because if it was negative 7, then it would be negative 3 when I added them together. And it's just sort of a process of elimination. You just figure it out. There's only 3 possibilities, and that's the one. So you take these numbers here, the 7 and the negative 4, and you put them here in these binomials. So this is going to be plus 7, because that's positive, and minus 4, because that's negative. Ta-da! Like, that's it. I may even add this. So you're going to combine to get the middle term, and you're going to multiply to get the end term. Here we go. So you're going from this first line to this second line. Ta-da! Second example. X squared minus 9x, welcome back, minus 10. Okay, so same thing. We want two numbers that will multiply to give us negative 10, but when we combine them together we get negative 9. So we know our answer is going to look like binomials. We can start there, right? We know it's going to be x and x because we got an x squared. So we put our x over here. This is on the top. It's like our air conditioning. And this is on the bottom, like our basement. So can anyone think of what two numbers will multiply to give me negative 10, but when I add them together I get negative 9? There's really only two possibilities. Sam? Negative 10 and positive 1 is exactly correct. It's either 2 and 5 or 1 and 10, right? So he got that combination. All you do is put minus 10 here and plus 1 here. And that's your answer. Very good. Any questions so far? Like any number you didn't get, or... Okay. Because, you know, by fifth period I do go sometimes a little fast. We're just going to do one more example because you need more practice than you need examples. But I'll ask, does this look a little familiar from algebra to anyone now that we're doing a problem? Well, at least I got a handshake. Thanks, Donnie. Okay. Third example, 5x squared plus 25x minus 30. So this one has more numbers in it, right? Does anybody also recognize something we can do to make it a little easier on ourselves? What do they have in common? What does each term have in common? Can you see it? Yes? Yes, we're going to divide them all by 5. Make it easier on yourself. Don't try to do the big numbers. Take the 5 out first. Thank you, Nozomi. Okay, so 5, when I divide it out, gives me this, and now I have a much simpler trinomial. Make it easy on yourself. Okay, so then I come over here, right? I want to know what multiplies to give me negative 6, but adds together to give me positive 5. Can anybody think of what that is? Negative 6, positive 5. There's only two different possibilities here. 1, 6 or 2, 3. Sam, you got it? Okay, you forgot. Okay, it's either 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. Okay, so if this was 2 and 3, how do I get negative 6? Which one's negative? Okay, so if I have negative 2 times 3, I get negative 6. That's correct. But does it give me 5 when I add them together? No, so try again. Will? Yes, positive 6, negative 1. See, the thing is, it's a little bit of a guessing game, right? But there's only so many possibilities. So we use a pencil or an erasable pen, and we try again. But there's our answer. So it'll be 5. We've got our two binomials. Here's our x's. It'll be plus 6, minus 1. And by the way, you could put minus 1 and plus 6. That doesn't matter. It is commutative. And we've now done 3 examples, which I think is enough. I think you've got enough to get going. And we're going to do a worksheet